Hi, girls and boys. It's Mrs. Tento. I wanted to read you a story today about why you have Monday off, even though we're zooming this week. Monday is a very special holiday. It celebrates the life of a very fabulous Christian pastor who took a stand for right things and how he changed the world around him by doing what God would say to do is right. This is about Martin Luther King Jr., and he had a very interesting childhood, wonderful family. So let me read you the story. This is by Walter Dean Myers and Alex Haley, general editor. So let's see. It says Young Martin's Promise. Um, Starts out with a note from the editor. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words can never harm me. You've heard that one before, haven't you? If you have, you know it's only half true. Sticks and stones may break your bones, and words, though, can and do harm you. Remember, we've talked about the Bible. God just had to speak, and the earth began. So, words are extremely important, and they are very powerful. Rules are made up of words. Rules can do a lot of harm if they're not fair. They can even take away your freedom. And there isn't a greater harm than that in the world. This is a story about a young boy who felt the pain of unfair rules. It is a story about how he learned that you can change what is wrong. Martin Luther King Jr. grew up in Atlanta, Georgia in the 1930s. When he was a little boy, he liked to climb trees. He also liked to play tag or catch with his friends on Auburn Avenue. Two of his best friends lived across the street from him. Like Martin, they were good ball players and they were fast too, but most of all, they were good friends. Things began to change when Martin and his friends started school. Martin hoped that he and his friends would go to school together, but in 1935 there were places where black children could not go to the same school as white children. When the bus came to pick up Martin on the first day of school, his friends were not on it. All the children on the bus were black. All the children at Martin's schools were too. School was too. Hmm. When Martin got home from school that day, he was very excited. He couldn't wait to tell his friends about his first day of school. As he jumped off the school bus, he saw that some of his friends were already playing ball. Martin ran over to them. He wanted to join the game as he always did, but this time the other children stopped playing. Our parents say we can't play with you anymore, his friend told Martin. Martin asked, why not? His friend said it was because they were white and Martin was black. That's why we don't go to the same school, another boy told Martin. Martin had to go to the black school. Martin did not know what to say. He swallowed hard and went back across the street slowly. He was very upset. Martin knew that he hadn't done anything wrong. At dinner that night, he told his parents what had happened. Martin's mother felt sorry for her son. In a calm voice, she told him about segregation. Segregation means keeping things or people apart. The law said that black people and white people could not be together in some places, such as school. Segregation was not Martin's fault, but it still made him feel bad. He did not know why things had to be that way. Why couldn't kids just be friends? Martin tried to forget what had happened. He made new friends at school. He still played ball and tag, but other things happened to remind him of how things were. One day, Martin's father was going for a drive downtown. Martin went with him. He liked to go downtown to see all the shops and busy people. Since Martin needed new shoes, they decided to stop at a shoe store. Martin ran over to the shoe store where he saw a pair he liked. They went inside and sat down in the first empty seats they saw. The seats were near the front window, and Martin could see the shoes he wanted. A young clerk came up to them. "I'll be happy to wait on you if you'll just move to those seats in the rear," the clerk said in a low voice. "Well, there's nothing wrong with these seats," Martin's father said. "We're quite comfortable here." "Sorry," the clerk said, "but you will have to move to the rear of the store. We'll either buy shoes sitting here," Martin's father said, "or we won't buy shoes at all." "Oh, stop being so high and mighty," the clerk said angrily. "That is the only place we serve black people." Martin looked up at his father. Why was the man yelling at them? Why was he angry? All they wanted to do was to buy a pair of shoes. Then Martin's father took his hand, and they walked out of the store without buying the shoes. As they drove back home, Martin saw that his father was angry too. He asked his father what had happened. Why was the clerk mad if they hadn't done anything wrong? It was a part of segregation, Martin's father explained. Making black people go to the back of the store was not a law. It was a custom. Customs are the ways in which people expect to live. Many white people did not expect to sit with black people when they shopped. The clerk was mad because Martin's father would not go to the back. "Segregation is stupid and cruel," Martin's father said. "I'll always fight against it." Tears came to Martin's eyes. He hated it when people treated other people so meanly. "I'll help you fight against segregation," said Martin, looking up at his father. "I'll help all I can." From that day on, Martin tried to keep the promise he made. He never forgot his friends or what happened in the shoe store. He thought about the pain he and his father had felt. He even thought about how upset the clerk had been. He knew that anything that made people feel that bad was wrong. Back on Auburn Avenue, Martin often saw the boys who had been his friends. They still played ball, but without Martin. He would still speak to them in a friendly manner when he saw them. If their ball rolled across the street, he would still throw it back to them. Maybe they had to accept segregation, he thought, but he didn't. When Martin Luther King Jr. became a man, he worked hard to end segregation. He asked lawmakers to change the laws that kept people apart. He led people as they marched to protest the unfair treatment of black people. He spoke to thousands of people. He said that bringing people together was better than keeping them apart. He told them of his dream that all children would one day play and study together. Because of Martin Luther King Jr. and others like him, the segregation laws were changed. So were the customs that kept people apart. Now all children can go to the same schools. Because of Martin Luther King Jr., kids of all colors can just be friends. And Martin Luther King Day is a national holiday, boys and girls. It is celebrated on the third Monday in January. We celebrate this day because Martin Luther King Jr. was a great American hero. Throughout his life, Dr. King helped many people. He did not believe in fighting or hurting other people. He spoke about peace and brotherhood. He taught others to be peaceful too. Martin Luther King Jr. helped bring many great changes to this country. He dreamed of a world where everyone lived together in peace. He dreamed of a world where everyone was treated fairly and with respect. A good way to celebrate Martin Luther King Day is to make Martin Luther King's dream your dream. That was a wonderful story about a wonderful man. And that is how we are to live our lives, treating each other as God's creation. Have a great day.